In this tutorial, I will be using Inkscape and show you a simple way to draw different grasses, that you can then use them as a prop in Cartoon Animator 5. This first picture shows a number of different layers, all put together, as a clump of grass. Our second picture shows the individual layers, all joined together. This image is from pixabay.com and the creator is OpenClipart. The links to this file will be in the description. Open Inkscape to a new document. Go up to File, Document Properties, and notice what the width and height are. Let's change the width and height dimensions to 1280 by 1280, and then close this box. As a guide, let's import our sample as a bitmap into Inkscape. Drag the image into Inkscape. In the import box, hit OK. Let's take the image and put it off to the side of our work area. When we draw something in Inkscape, think, how can I use a rectangle, a circle, or a star to create the new object? Take the rectangle tool and draw a rectangle in the work area. First, we want to turn our rectangle from an object to a path. We can do this by going up to Path, Object to Path. Or, you can use the shortcut, Shift plus Control plus C. Now select the Nodes tool. Here we want to draw a piece of grass with 3 blades on it. Now, draw 3 nodes across the top. Move in the outside bottom nodes to form the base. Drag the 2 nodes towards the bottom to form the 3 blades of grass. In the middle of the center of the grass blade, add 2 more nodes, one on each side. Then select each of the nodes and then in the Tools bar, select the Nodes Symmetric tool. Select the top node and pull it to the left side. This will give you a curved, grass blade. By pulling on the handles of each node we can enlarge the curve of the blades of grass. If you want your grasses to have an outline, go to Fill in Stroke, then Stroke. Here you can select your outline color. But in this case, I don't want an outline. Let's draw the rest of the other grasses, using the same process, like we did for the first one. Now we'll use the pen tool to put a vein down each grass stem. I'm selecting black, to show the contrast between the grass and the vein. With the line selected, go to Fill in Stroke, then select the Fill tab and turn it off. Under the Stroke tab, select the color you want. I'm selecting the same green, then I will be adjusting it to a slightly darker green. Now add a vein to each of the other blades of grass. I like the colors of the grasses of our sample picture, so I will be using the dropper tool and change the colors of the different layers of grass. Now we need to join all the different paths into the different layers of grass. Go to the Layers and Objects tab. Use the Selector tool. While holding down the Shift button, select the grass, and then the veins you drew on that grass. Then with the paths selected, hit Ctrl+G. This will group them together. Do this for each grass group. Now you're able to move the grass groups around, and place them, in the order you want. Let's save our work. Now, I'll be using the static prop Template.svg file that I created. There will be a link in the description where you can download it. When you open it in Inkscape, this is what you will see. It outlines the file structure for Cartoon Animator 5. Under RL bone, you need root with the colon, object pivot with the colon, and in this case, you will see square -2 and circle -2. Root and object pivot are the aligning points for the prop. Square :-2 and circle :-2 are the yellow dots. These show Cartoon Animator where to put the objects. Let's put our two projects up side by side. In Project 1, name each grass layer. I'm just going to call them Grass 1, Grass 2, and Grass 3. Now select all three groups, then edit at the top, and select Copy. Go to our second project named Static Prop Template. Then, edit at the top, and hit Paste. With the three grasses selected, drag them and drop them into the RL image folder. Now at the end of each grass folder, we have to put a colon, and this is very important. Select one of the grass folders, and go up to the Object Properties tab. If your tab isn't there, hit Shift plus Ctrl plus O. Under Properties we can see the label is grass1: but the ID is G13. We must make sure both label and ID match. The best way to avoid mistakes here is to copy the label and paste it into the ID, then at the bottom hit the Set button. Under RL Bone, right-click on the path, square:2 and hit Duplicate. This will duplicate the yellow dot. Now rename it to grass2:-2. We've named the label, and the ID the same. Don't forget to hit the Set button at the bottom. Now we go back to our RL image and select grass2. Open the Properties tab. We see the label grass2: and we go to change the ID, and hit the Set button, but it says, ID already exists. So, paths under RL Bone cannot have the same ID as the corresponding RL image folders. By adding -2, Cartoon Animator can identify RL Bone files to the RL image files. Let's change grass2: to grass2:-2. Then go into Properties and change the ID to match the label. And don't forget to hit Set. It's always best to name the RL images first, before the corresponding RL Bone paths. Check grass1 and grass3 that their IDs match, and the labels match. Move the duplicated yellow dots off to the top. Now duplicate the grass1 and grass3 RL Bone paths, and rename them with the -2 after the colon. Then go to Properties, and change the IDs. Again, don't forget to hit the Set button. Once this operation is done, I go through each new path, and check the IDs and make sure that they are correct. We can now delete both the square and the circle objects, both in RL Bone and RL Image. Now in RL Image, hide grass2 and grass3. Go up to RL Bone, and select grass1:2. Its corresponding yellow dot will be highlighted. Move it to the base of grass1. Do the same to grass2, and move its corresponding dot to its base. And then grass3. So now let's save our work. This time select Save As, and name your project to whatever you want. This allows you to keep the static prop template for your next project. Let's open Cartoon Animator 5. Drag and drop our saved file into the stage area of Cartoon Animator 5. As there's no errors, the 3 grass layers should show up in the layers area. At the end of this section, I'll show you how to troubleshoot if there are errors. Let's go back into the stage area. Select the prop, then Sprite Editor. Here you can turn off each different grasses if you want to. In this section, I purposely introduced a couple common mistakes in the SVG file that give errors in Cartoon Animator. Let's open Cartoon Animator 5 and drag and drop the grass prop problems SVG file into the stage area. It automatically spits out an SVG error. If we hit View in browser, really all it's showing is an enlarged picture of our SVG file. In comparing the two images, in Cartoon Animator, the box isn't there, and the dark green grass is missing. Let's look at the warning log. Here we can see there are two. One with grass 1, and the second is with G15. Let's open our file in Inkscape again. When troubleshooting errors, a good feature to use is the find and replace function. To do this, hit Ctrl+F. This brings up the Find and Replace tab. It's good to keep the error log open, so that you have a reference as to what you're looking for in Inkscape. First, let's look for the G15 error. I purposely left in the green box because it contained this error. So G15 says that some sprite has missing corresponding bones. So, what this means is the reference in RL bone doesn't match the image in RL image. What we need to do is to look at the IDs of both, and make sure they all match. So we're looking for G15. Type in G15, and select Properties, and hit Find. We can see that the green box is highlighted. Go to the Layers and Object tab, and we will check for G15. Here we can see the error is under RL image, and the folder named box:. Select that folder and go to the Object Properties tab, and here we find the source of the G15 error. Rename the ID to match the label, and hit the Set button. Let's save Inkscape, close the error log, and in Cartoon Animator start a new project. Correcting errors can be confusing, so I try to solve one error at a time, reloading the SVG file back into Cartoon Animator to make sure it's corrected. Reload the SVG file again. We get another error box, but this time we can see the green box is visible in Cartoon Animator. Open the warning log again. Okay, G15 error's gone, but we still have the problem with grass 1. Bring up Inkscape again, and we'll look for the next error. Again, we'll use the Find and Replace tool. Type in grass 1, and then find. This time we can see that both grass 1 under RL image is highlighted, and grass 1 -2 is also highlighted. Let's check both. In checking grass 1 -2, the ID is spelled incorrectly. Let's correct that error and save. Again, reload the SVG into Cartoon Animator, and see if that corrected the error. There we go, our prop is ready to go. As you see, most times the errors are because of a missing or misspelled label or ID. It could also be because the image is completely missing in RL bone, or RL image. And remember how important it is to have a colon at the end of each folder. I find the easiest way to troubleshoot is one error at a time. If you think that you've corrected it, save your SVG file, then reload it into Cartoon Animator, and check the error log to see if that error is gone. I hope this has helped you to draw grasses in Inkscape and then turn them into a prop for Cartoon Animator 5. Also how to read the error logs, and to troubleshoot errors and correct them. Thank you for joining me in my journey of animation. Please like and subscribe to my channel.